Welcome, I'm Mike Writer, and we'll be basically doing another storyline. We're going to be doing the Romulan Republic storyline, and now, as with everything else, each of these are done in a particular order, and whilst officially you'll be, as we're going for the species, the Romulan Republic only has two real species to go for, with the Romulan and then the Remans. The Remans are somewhat harder to obtain, as you need to obtain buy a token to obtain the Remans normally, or you have to complete the Tier 5 of the Romulan reputation. Now this means that you spend about a month to get to Tier 5. This is not, and it's not, and and for a lifetime one, such as myself, you get all of the bug stuff. Now bugs are only, liberated bugs are, or XPs are exclusive to lifetime accounts. Are the old legacy subscription accounts. Subscription accounts do not exist for new players in the game, so people who have subscription accounts have already had it for a couple of years minimum. But we're going of the aliens. Now aliens are technically available for, or for staff. You can get Staff Retalian, and a Klingon alien. However, you cannot get a Discovery alien. You can get a Discovery alien, but you cannot get a Dominion or a TOS alien. Well, now that it's been 2 minutes to talk about stuff, we're going to be going on about aliens. Now, aliens, whenever any faction has something unique, they have their own. They have 10 traits instead of the usual 9 for both ground and space. However, they lack their own unique trait, which both the Romulans, Remans, and which every other species has. So these aliens also don't have access to some of the more powerful traits that the Remans and the Romulans do. The Remans and the liberated bug Romulans, I know, do have some. Well, so, and we're back in a moment when we do set out this character. But before I do that, I need to point out that he's going to be the tactical officer. Well, we've gone through science and engineering so far, so we need to go through tactical. Well, here we are. We've got Mr. Mirzo and piloting the Romulan. Don't worry, I'm not. Mirzo is not going to be doing that too long. He's also the tactical officer, so I've given him a red stripe on this outfit. This outfit's actually one of a dozen outfits that are part of stuff I've bought over the years. So you can equip that. So let's get started.
What we knew is gone. Our home, our lives, all that we were, dust. Blasted across empty, heartless skies. But we live. Our legacy lives within every ship we fly, upon every world we touch, in our hearts, in yours. There will be challenge. You will know fear, but you will overcome. You will survive and answer vengeance with blood. You will do as you must. Rule cannot be handed to the faithless. Our legacy cannot be lost to villains. Bury the past to face the future. In enemies, find allies. There is no price we have not paid, no loss we have not felt. Our dead world, our long suffering, these are not ends. We are not ended. For your crew, for your people, for this new home, we must face all doubt. We must break the strong who would destroy us and overcome the impossible. We must fight against any and all. We must, we will, for we are Romulan.
The youngest of our kind rely on stories to know what our people were like before. Strong, secretive, warlike. We were feared. We were powerful. Then, everything changed. 22 years ago, the star of the Hobus system went supernova. The resulting explosion traveled through subspace to hit Romulus and Remus, our homeworlds. No one could have predicted that would happen, and no one could have stopped it. Millions died. Those who survived were scattered across dozens of worlds. One day we were citizens of one of the greatest powers of the galaxy, and the next, we were just trying to survive. Every day was a struggle if you weren't part of the militant and oppressive Tal Shiar, or ruling everything from on high like Empress Sela. For ordinary Romulans, military victories don't mean much when you're hungry. Life goes on. The Klingons and Starfleet are at one another's throats, but battles light years away don't affect us much. The Tal Shiar are the more immediate threat. They're rebuilding the Empire by force, and pressing anyone they think can help into service. But even they don't seem to know we're here. We've put down roots and found friends. Today we'll celebrate what we've created. With hard work and some good fortune, true Romulans will once again rise to be a power in the galaxy. The first step on that path begins here.
Now, and as you see more than what this is the
Your current tasks will be displayed here.
and I won't be letting this talk too much. Well, to put it simply, we're in the introduction area, and there's like quite a few people picking up stuff, and those two are more or less they're going to be someone's out of count by the look of it. So, well, let's chat with Tovan.
There you are. The security chief was looking for you earlier. She said there's trouble at the vineyard. Avrak's been filing reports all night about Kellids chewing at the vines. He's really worked up.
Kellids in the vines? That doesn't sound right.
Something must have annoyed them. It's not typical Kellid behavior. With the big celebration tonight, I think everyone's a little overexcited. Even the bugs. You should listen to one of Avrak's messages before you head out there.
I'll look into it. Now, earlier before, with that introduction videos, the Vega was actually 2 weeks before Scarlet became part of her was actually Vega is actually the the 24/9 tutorial for the Federation, and basically the end of the tutorial there is roughly where Scarlet joins in the 24/9 storyline as well. So let's check our messages. You got 3 messages from Avrak. The second and third messages have been redundant by the system. Play message 1 now.
Please tell me you'll help me. Kellids are in the vineyard chewing through the irrigation pipes, and everyone says they're too busy getting ready for the big party to come and do something about it. There won't be any party if everyone's knee-deep in water by nightfall. Get over here and help me fix this.
Now you can go and tell Tovan, or you can have a bit of fun and listen to the other messages.
When are you coming over here? This is getting ridiculous. Nobody appreciates me around here. No one. They think these crops just grow without any help from anyone. Tending these vines is a lot of work. No one says thank you. No one pats me in the back. They just keep asking for more. God, look, just get over here and take care of the Kellids, all right? And maybe say thank you for all the work I do to keep these vineyards in shape. It's me again. Ignore the other message I sent. I lost my temper. I'm sorry. Maybe that's why you're not here yet. I really could use your help, though. These Kellids are chewing through everything, and they won't stop. And no one here is even trying to help. They just keep bouncing me to other people. First to Tovan, then to Navala, then to you. What's next? Should I ask one of the kids? Just please come here soon. Thanks.
We better tell Tovan we're going to help out Tavern. Now, Tovan,
If the Kellids are chewing up the vineyard, you should probably grab a pistol, just in case. I'd join you, but the chief has me looking into some odd comm chatter we picked up yesterday. We'll have to catch up later.
see you later. Now, as introduction to our stuff, we've got the standard split beam and disruptor. And as you can see here, it takes shoot 3 shots on the secondary ability. But that was our test shot, and you can see here quite a lot of people are. Since we now out of battle and got quit. And you can see we are in head up at a shop area. I mean, we've got a dismantled ship over there, so now we can have a chat with well, keep up the law.
Hey there, ready for the big festival? Working hard? Or maybe you have time to listen to a story or two?
Now, this is going to tell you a lot about this place. Now, I'm going to just go and say I've got to get going, but this place is Virinat, and this place actually has been visited by Scud later. Yes, I'm using the term later purely because we've actually had various other stuff, and if you've missed the cut screen, you can also replay that, but that's all because. But now we've passed some small bloke over here. You'll see a lot about him later. Now, Mr. Avrak.
Finally? I mean, which message do you... never mind that either. It's chaos here. I need some help. Normally we collect nectar from the local Kellid insects. Something has driven them into a frenzy. They're chewing on our irrigation system and flooding the vineyard.
I better start repairing the pipes.
Excellent. The broken pipes are obvious. They're the ones spraying water everywhere. Kellett shouldn't give you too much trouble. A few bursts from your pistol will take care of them.
I'll do it. Now, this one's one of the more easy ones. You could, as I said, it's a 2-second job band. You can use the pipes together. Few of them would do the job. Using the fact that we, oops. And they'll just continue doing it, coming in, because this actually is a shared area, as you can see, other people around here. So, but there are points where the story will not have us with other players around, so don't worry. Avrak.
Well, the flooding has stopped, but if those Kellets come back, they'll just break the pipes again. Something's making the insects go crazy. With bugs this size, that's a real problem. And Navala might be able to help if she's goofing off again. She knows all about Kellets. She's normally down by the greenhouse this time of day. Tell her to stop being lazy and keep these critters contained.
I'll find out what Navala knows.
Good idea. Talk to Navala.
I bet she's just lounging around right now, not even thinking about all the damage being done to my vineyard. No one around here wants to put in a good day's work. Well, except for you.
Right, I'll get going. Now, now actually, Navala is actually down here. You can jump off that platform at the end, and you can see Navala's over here. And oof, that's a lot of bugs.
Just in time. Did you talk with Avrak? He said that I'm what? Lazy? That I've been... Ugh! He's just trying to make me look bad so he can get a promotion. Oh, that's so old-fashioned. Let me tell you what's actually happening. The Kellets are going crazy. I've been working all day to keep them out of the residential areas. This aggressive behavior is new, and we need to figure out what's causing it. That means gathering samples from some of these creatures.
I'll see what I can find. So, you see these are tons of bugs, and we just shoot them. Now, if you as always, the third command is melee. Oof. Oh, there's a cute. He dropped something, and he's found a sample. Navala?
This metal has some kind of fungus growing on it that's similar to the spores we found on some of the Kellid carapaces. It might explain their behavior, but how are they getting infected in the first place? Also, the flying Kalids have never come out of the cavern before. This is so strange.
So it might be happening in the cavern. I'll check it out.
You're right. The source of the infection could be somewhere inside the cavern. Head over there and see if you can find out what's aggravating the nest. And be careful.
I'll be careful. Now, we enter this cave. Because it said it in past that the current locals use it for something. Use it to get the nectar, so we are going through an area up there. That isn't a Khaled. These are dead. Unknown spider-like creature. At least they're destroyed by that. I don't know how much of my... Oh, we've woken up a big one. Right. Better talk to Navala.
A strange machine and some weird drone things? That is troubling. Someone's been in there. We'll have to let the Maori know about this. It's good you disabled the device, though. Maybe now the Kalids will calm down.
Yeah.
I took a look at those biological samples while you were gone, but I can't do much more than a basic tricorder scan. It's just not my area. Devex might be able to help. He was an engineer in the Romulan military before the homeworld was destroyed. Now he's helping us with our water supply and anything else that takes more specialized knowledge. You should talk to him.
Okay. And that's our first part of this. Our mission done. So, now on to Day in the Sun. So, we go and find this old Roman called Devex.
What do you need with an old space hound like me?
Ah, Devex, you look at this.
I have an idea of what this might be. Maybe. I saw something like this once before, when I was out beyond the Eridon Belt. We responded to a distress call from a mining outpost. When we got there, all the people were just gone, vanished without a trace. The only things we found were a strange beacon and some odd spore samples. These look very similar.
And this is our first tower choice where we picked our class based on our class. So now use the equipment to break down these samples.
Good idea. When we ran into something like this before, we were able to stop the spores from reproducing by bombarding them with tachyons. We have the equipment here to replicate that procedure.
Thanks, I'll let you know what I find. Oh! Time to break it down. Components broken down. Let's see what the data is with Vex.
I've only seen fungal biotech like this once before. Remember that mining station that I mentioned? Before we arrived, they reported several disappearances. Some thought it was paranoia, but we had reports that said intruders would beam in right through the colony's magnetic shield, right into someone's quarters, sedate them, and then vanish without a trace. We didn't know what to believe, but I don't think those miners were paranoid. Something did happen to them, and it could happen again.
Thought it was related to this beacon.
That's what my commander believed. We found a beacon with almost the same configuration as the one you found. We weren't able to get much from it before we shut it down. But the one thing we learned is that the beacon was made by a race that called themselves the Elachi. We stayed in orbit for a few days, but the Elachi never came back. That's good news for us, seeing that you disabled the beacon you found in the caverns.
What do we do now? Tell them what what we found?
That's right. He's the man in charge, so he needs to know. I'd be surprised if he doesn't want to send someone down there to analyze that beacon. Could be these Elachi were interested in our colony for some reason. Lucky for us, you were there to put a stop to whatever they were trying to do.
Okay. Now we head towards the stage area over here. And the guy at the podium. So, Mary Melem.
Jolan True. I heard Avrak yelling all the way over here. I'm sorry you had to deal with his problems on our day of celebration.
That's fine, but we have a bigger problem.
That does sound very mysterious. However, you seem to have taken care of the immediate problem, disabling this beacon and dispatching the drones. You have my thanks.
It's my honor.
I'll assign some engineers to examine the device and set up surveillance on the cave as soon as possible. If what Vex says is true, we don't want that beacon turned on again. Now that's settled, why don't you try to relax for a while? Enjoy the festival. We'll talk again tomorrow after the engineers have finished their analysis of the device.
I'll do that. Thank you, Mihaly. Now, here's the point where we call Tovan.
Are you done for the day? I'm just finishing up too. I'm going to head back to the restaurant. Meet me for a drink when you're done.
Explore the settlement and meet at covered. Tovan Kev when you're done for the day. If you choose to meet up with him now, you'll be moved into the next part of the tutorial. This is your last chance to get to explore this place, so I'm going to not do it now. And I'm going to quickly cover some things in here, because this is the last time, only time you get to explore this place undisturbed. And really most of this area is pretty quite clear, quiet, and actually interacted with everything that's unique, not say unique, but interactable around here, other than Tavern himself again. But simply, you remember that one we talked about, the last singer? Well, she will give us a quite tip of alarm. Sorry, Duval. Give us a quick info.
Hey there, ready for the big festival? Working hard? Or maybe you have time to listen to a story or two?
I am. We just returned from the Keller vibe. She missed on there.
Really? That sounds like a new story in the making. The mystery of the Kellids, or perhaps the Kellid conundrum. I'll have to think about it. We should talk more about it during the festival. Do you want to hear a story or two?
Yes, we do. And we're going to be asking three things. Now, the first one is the origin of the Romulans. Now, this is going to be quicker to explain in any other lot video, but here it goes.
Almost 2,000 years ago, our people were Vulcans. At that time, Vulcan was a world of war, with constant struggles between the tribes. Serac changed that. He taught that peace came through logic. And if you ask me, not all Vulcans get that right. Serac said that people should master their emotions, not eliminate them. But not everyone on Vulcan wanted to give up love, or passion, or even anger. The Vulcans said these people marched beneath the raptor's wings. Instead of fighting their own people, these Vulcans decided to leave in an event we call the Sundering. They boarded great colony ships and set out into unexplored space, looking for a home where they could live and feel as they wished. Eventually, those who marched beneath the raptor's wings found Romulus and Remus. They created an empire. Although we share a genetic bond with the Vulcans, we are our own people. Never forget that. Want to hear another story?
Indeed. Now that is very much a very short version of the history of the Romulans and Remans. So now this is going to be about talking about the next one is about the ship, Romulan supernova or the Hubris incident. So tell us about our people after the planet was destroyed.
The destruction of Romulus was a terrible thing. When we lost our home and our loved ones, we lost our soul. The people who survived were scattered and leaderless. Survival was a daily struggle. There were some fights for control before Empress Sela took over, but I never paid much attention. That Taurus woman was never going to get far. Now, Sela and the Tal Shiar are attempting to rebuild the strength of the Romulan Star Empire, but they do so with fear and oppression. Steer clear of them if you can. People like us should just try to stay out of the Tal Shiar's way. Life is more important than politics or power. There are a lot of Romulans who just wander from planet to planet because there's no place to call home anymore. We're lucky to have Virinat. This is a good place. A place to put down roots. Without that, we're just dust, scattered by the winds of fate. Do you want to hear another story?
Tell me about the founder of this colony.
Virinat was a colony world. It used to be a big agricultural planet, growing food for the Empire. After Romulus was destroyed, thousands upon thousands of people flooded the planet. The old cities couldn't hold them all, and they were scared. They started fighting amongst themselves. One night, the cities burned. Most of the survivors left. A few hung on, scrapping old ships and using them as building materials. That's how the Maori found them, about 10 years ago.
Continue.
The Maori was the commander of an old warbird. Navala was his first officer, and Devex the chief engineer. They were wandering the sector, trying to find a new home. When they found Virinat, they decided to stay. Devex kept the old warbird functional, and he used it to make supply runs and bring back other Romulans who needed a home. Navala put herself in charge of security, and the Maori, he runs the whole colony now. Devex met Tovan Kev in a mining colony a few years back. think it was 4 years ago. But then again, I didn't come here until 2 years ago, so this is not just information I've heard about secondhand. I actually have a question for you, if you don't want to hear another story first.
What is it?
When did you arrive here? I know we only have a few hundred people living here, but so many come and go that it's hard to keep track. I'm recording the stories of all the people that live here, you see. And I would love to start yours off with your arrival. Who knows? It could be something that becomes historical in a few years.
Indeed. Now this is one of the more... This person is actually completely optional. I'm going to put... I was picked up by Devex a few years ago. And technically, we kind of were.
A Devex recruit? Fascinating. We've had some interesting characters come here thanks to him. We should definitely talk more about this over drinks tonight. I would love to know where Devex found you.
I'll see you later. Now, that is basically going to be it. Well, it for the time being. Because, well, we've just broke the half-hour barrier. We're going to meet up with Tova and Kev the next time.